Hi, my name is Ari, and I'm so happy you have chosen to watch an episode of our podcast, the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast. I was inspired to start podcasting as a kind of shift that I had from the dance world into journalism. I grew up dancing ballet, and I have performed with the New York City Ballet and Miami City Ballet at Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater and in Madison Square Garden. So my overarching experience in dance has really inspired me to open up conversation that affects and influence our mental health. We have experts from every field to just talk about things and to find some level of growth, grace, and gratitude within each step of our evolution. I also want to mention that we have spiritual courses available for anybody that wants guidance on their spiritual journey. And if that includes coaching, we have a lot of guidebooks about inner child healing and mental health support and relationship guidance. And for students, we have great tutoring for writers who want to build on their journalistic skills or who want to publish their first novel, who want to work on their writing in general. We have courses in dance, ballet, yoga, and Pilates. So whether you are advanced or brand new, our classes are held on Zoom, and we have options for personal classes or group classes. And for writers, there's also an option of the typewriter. So if you have a typewriter that needs repair, we can repair that for you. And if you need a new typewriter, you can purchase a beautiful typewriter and start the writing process at your own pace. If you would like to have me on your podcast or would like to be a guest on my podcast, or if you want us to answer your questions in an upcoming episode, please send us an email at growthandgracemindset@gmail.com. And if you like our shows and they resonate with you, please consider giving our show a rating of 5 stars. Give us a comment, follow us, and just enjoy the episodes. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your journey with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome to the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast, where we talk about all things mental health, wellness, healing, entrepreneurship, business tips, the arts, and so much more. And today we'll be talking about the gift of music and performing with our special guest, Benita Rose, who is a concert pianist, former college professor of piano, several time international competition winner, who will be performing at Carnegie Hall for the second time this year, going on her fourth international concert tour, and recently released her album Libre Free at Last, music of Marcos Fernandez Barrero. She was featured by Pianist magazine with rave reviews of her Chopin playing and was recently a guest on Inspired Lives with Ciara Lawless out of Ireland. It's a beautiful bio and journey you have been experiencing with music. Such a wonderful accomplishment. What is your favorite thing about performing and playing the piano?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me today. My favorite thing about is performing makes me feel alive. And it's a very scary thing to perform. And I went through a period in my life where I just said, I don't need this. It is just so scary. And then I just started feeling really bored. And, some people do the bungee cord jumping, and I do the piano performing. It's
That's
also
great.
great to be able to express yourself as you're feeding off of the audience, which makes it different from practicing. Because when I practice, I work on trying to find the most beautiful way to play things. But in an actual live performance, as you're doing that, all of a sudden you get these inspirations, and all of a sudden magical things happen.
Yes, that's so true. And I also grew up performing ballet, so my experience dancing at Lincoln Center and at Madison Square Garden, also like large stages. And when I was younger, it was like a thrill. So the experience of performing, it's such a like extrovert kind of experience. And people who are introverts sometimes actually feel more comfortable on the stage, interestingly enough. So it's like it's a place where you can imagine and dream and kind of perform whatever is in your mind or whatever you want to kind of project to the audience. So I think it's a great gift, and also it's so fun. It's so fun to do because you're like playing.
Yes. Yes. And, you were asking, what I like about the piano. And, when I was growing up, because I exhibited a lot of talent early on, I think my mother really became overzealous. And I really went through very long periods of questioning if I really love the piano and did I choose it or did she choose it? And I kind of went through a period of having to find myself and try different things to see if I would have chosen it. And then the weirdest thing happened about 2 years ago when most people my age are thinking about retiring. I was overcome with the feeling that I just want to play the piano and I want to perform. And so I quit my college teaching job and I said to my husband, this is crazy because I'm not young and I'm overweight and who's going to want to hear me? And one thing kind of led to another. I discovered this living Spanish composer. Um, I found him by accident. I was searching for a Mexican composer for a project, and I typed in Spanish, and Marcos Fernandez came up. Actually, he didn't come up, his sheet music came up. And I purchased it and downloaded it, and I played it, and I thought, this is really beautiful. And I didn't really give it much thought past that, but then he wrote to me saying he thought there was something very special about the way I played, and he can't stop thinking about it. And he wished I could come to Barcelona to play his music. And I thought, hey, that's really cool. I should see if he has anything else that's good. And I wasn't really expecting to find anything, but I found a treasure trove of just beautiful, beautiful music, and it really spoke to my soul, particularly at that time. The things I was going through and the feelings I was having were just right in his music. And so I decided that I was going to go out on a limb and record his music. And, I'm a classically trained pianist. His music that I chose to record is kind of crossover. And, oh, I should also mention when I um, put the music up on YouTube, I started getting invitations from all over the world to play his music.
Wow.
I started getting invitations to perform his music and to talk about it at Music Teachers Association conferences and all sorts of things. And then so uh, my world tour ensued. And after people heard me play his music, they said, wow, we would love to hear you play some traditional programs as well, Beethoven, Chopin list, which I am doing this time. And then not only that, I am currently working with some other living composers. In fact, this weekend I'm leaving for Norway and I'm going to be playing music of Marlene Moore, who is an American composer in California, and also Magnus Gautestad, who's Norwegian, and a few others as well. And one thing has just kind of led to another. And one of the things that I have learned is that it is really, really important to listen to your inner yearnings, and those desires that you have been put there for a reason. It's because there is something good coming. And just take that plunge, open that door, see where it goes. Don't just be safe and stay in your house and do the same old thing.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for mentioning all of that. And it's so inspiring. And what a great testimony to your authentic nature, because we go through different periods in our lives where we feel less confident or we don't feel like we're our best selves. And that's actually when we should keep going and keep putting one foot in front of the other to keep on trying, because that's the whole journey of life. It's like you can't wait until you feel perfect and you feel like, oh, now is the right time. It's just like what you said, you have that yearning, you have that desire, and you just try. And that's the best message for the young generation, for this generation, the older generation, to inspire that true discipline to take action, because it does take that incredible self-esteem. Because when we have a bad day, or when we feel like, oh, I feel like if I do this, it's going to fail, it's not going to work out, we're kind of projecting into the universe the law of attraction. Whatever we feel, we're kind of attracting that. But if we're open and we're expressing ourselves and we're willing to put ourselves out there to be seen with our gift, with our talents, with our whatever we have to offer the world, I feel like that's when the journey begins. And like you mentioned, you're going on tour and you're traveling and you're going to so many places and playing for composers. It's so beautiful. So that's that's very inspiring.
And it's all a journey, and if you just think of each concert or each step of your life, if you're afraid of it, it's just another step in your journey. It's not the abyss, you know.
Yes. And I
It's a
remember.
step to where you're going to. And when I was growing up, it was my mom's idea that I would take piano lessons. She loved the piano, and she had bought a 77 key Wurlitzer Spinet, which is like 11 keys short, and I actually had selective mutism, which is a severe, very severe social anxiety, which prevents you from being able to speak in certain situations. And for me, that situation was school. And so um, I didn't speak in school for like 20 years, believe it or not,
Wow.
through graduate school. But I remember, like, when I was 6 years old, the music teacher at school kind of discovered me. And I went on my first, shall we say, concert tour. It was the whole school building, but the school went through middle school, because it was a school that went through about age 13, but I was 6. So I went from classroom to classroom playing for them. And, my mom first showed me how to play, and it just made sense to me. So I didn't have to go through all the note reading rituals. She explained the system, and I could immediately play classical music, and I could immediately understand what the composer intended. Um, and I had a lot of successes along the way, but I was having these conflicted feelings because my mother, um, and she was wonderful, but she was just a little bit too excited, and she made me practice more than I should have. um, but all's well that ends well.
Yeah, I think
Um,
a lot of parents who are really wanting this for their kids, it's so we have so many, like, dance moms who are overly excited and overly ambitious for their children. And sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's like the mother's intuition who's guiding them on this journey, hopefully to open up their future. But sometimes it can be overwhelming for the child, and the parent is just pushing them a little bit too far. And then sometimes it actually turns the child off of this talent that
yeah.
they have. So it's an interesting dichotomy to see, like, how is it better for the parents to push their kids or to step away, and when, and it's like a parenting thing also.
Yeah, so like, people would ask me what I want to be when I grow up when I was little. And I was actually very excited about the idea of being a piano teacher. And so I'd always say I want to be a piano teacher. And my mother would always chime in. She doesn't want to be just a piano teacher. She wants to be a great, famous concert pianist. And I'd be like, what? And I would be going to those recitals. I'd be like shaking in my boots. And I don't know if my mother never noticed, how nervous I was. I think she just didn't care.
In a way that's beautiful. It's kind of like manifesting for you for your future. So that's amazing.
Yes, but I think that what happened was as I got over that performance anxiety, which like there was no way I could get out of it. Like my mother wouldn't, there's no way she would let me out of that, right? So eventually it helped me with my selective mutism, and I gained a lot of confidence um, as I began teaching people. I realized that I really knew a lot, like even more than I ever realized. And as I began to be able to speak through my fingers, then I think I felt more validated and that I mattered. And yeah, so it's been a long, long, long journey. My mother would be very happy with me right
Oh,
now.
that's amazing. That's so amazing. Yeah. And when it comes to, like you mentioned, going through social anxiety, what kind of advice would you give for kids, teens, adults who have a gift, who have a talent, but they also struggle with anxiety? Because a lot of people experience this as well. And sometimes it's crippling and it's very difficult to deal with. So,
Well, I think it is very important to find your interests, your special thing. I do think that helps build confidence as you become, skillful in whatever. I don't care if it's, knitting, playing the piano, or whatever. And I think, um, I don't think it was a bad thing at all that my mother forced me to do all those performances, because sometimes you just have to learn to deal with things, and you have to learn that you were scared, but you did it and it was fine. And in the event that maybe for something, maybe it doesn't turn out perfect, especially, kids events. I mean, it's a kids thing. Like I tell my students, it's a kids thing. So, don't worry. And I feel like this whole situation has helped me to be, very sensitive and nurturing to my students. Um, so yes, pursue those talents, but then when you have a challenge, um, try to overcome it. Don't let it scare you off and say, I can't do this. Just do it anyway.
yeah,
Suck it up.
just do it. The best motivation there is. Simple and right to the point. And what is your favorite thing to play as of now? Does it change? Do you have like different pieces that are your favorites, like for the year, for the season?
At Carnegie Hall, I'm going to be playing music of Liszt. That's going to be on July 20th. But this past October, I played music of Marcos Fernandez Barrero. And I have to say that I do love the old masters, but I do love that music of Marcos Fernandez Barrero. It spoke to me at a special time. It feels fun to play, and it's very soothing music. When I'm actually playing, I mean, I love whatever I'm playing at the moment. Uh, I love the piano now, and like I said, it perhaps took me a while to find it when it was right there in front of me.
So beautiful, yes. And out of all the places that you have been playing so far, what has been your favorite place to play and why?
Well, I loved playing at Carnegie Hall. The piano was just a dream piano. It responded exactly as I wanted it to. It was a full house. It's a beautiful hall, and it's a place that everybody aspires to play at. So it was just great on so many levels. And also, my daughter and husband were able to be there. So it was just very special. And of course, I'm loving the European tours. I'm loving um, the chance to uh, play in different places, seeing different environments, trying different languages. Um, it's a dream come true. Um, so I see some people having these podcasts on being over 40 or more, and I won't even say. But there's a lot to look forward to. It hasn't all ended, things can keep getting better and better.
Amazing.
You have
Such a
more
beautiful, yeah, such a
life
beautiful story.
experience.
That's amazing. Yes. And where can people connect with you to see your content and to see where you'll be playing next?
They can see my website, benitarose.com. They can follow my personal page on Facebook. They can follow my Benita Rose Concert Pianist page on Facebook. They can see me on YouTube. They can hear the album on all streaming platforms, Spotify, and I'm all over the internet. So if you look up Benita Rose, I should pop up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Benita, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Ari. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, it's been so lovely. Have a great journey with your music and so excited for all your concerts to come.
Thank you so much.